Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Poesy Tales Open Mic English section. Now, today we'll be presenting our poets will be presenting poems in English, the poems which they have written. Before we begin and invite our poets, I would like to introduce to you, especially those who are joining us for the first time, few words about Poesy Tales. Poesy Tales is a trilingual group of established, experienced, as well as emerging writers and poets. The three languages are Hindi, Marathi, and English. Poesy Tales is a WhatsApp group, and Poesy Tales also has a Facebook page. So I would request all the followers, those who are members also of Poesy Tales, as well as who like reading works and listening to works of different writers, to like our Facebook page, and also if interested they can join our WhatsApp group as well. Poesy Tales is a dynamic group, and it's a very active group in which regular prompts, word prompts, photo prompts are organized. The founder of Poesy Tales is Miss Anupama Kadwadji. She is very encouraging, and she herself is a very talented writer. She encourages the writers by organizing these prompts, and also the different writings which are presented by the writers and those who write for these prompts. A flip book, an e-book, is made, compiled by Anupamaji herself. And apart from that, every month we have separate open mic sessions for three languages, that is Hindi, Marathi, and English. So now we will start with this month's session of English. Hello, Sudipta ji. Am I audible to you? Welcome to Open Mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce, first of all, the first participant, that is Dr. Sudipta Mishra ji, for her rendition. Before that, I will like to speak a few words about her. Sudipta Mishra is a multifaceted artist and dancer. She has woven more than 100 books. Her third book, The Essence of Life, is credited with being Amazon's bestseller. And her next book, The Songs of My Heart, is also scaling new heights of glory. She has garnered numerous accolades from different international poetry and writing forums. And she is very active member of Poesy Tales as well. So Sudipta ji, welcome. Today, what you'll be reciting, we are very eager to know.
Thank you, Rupali ma'am, and thank you for the beautiful introduction. Am I audible? So my poem is I Wish I Could Meet You Again. Now, interestingly, this is a true story. The poem is based on a true story. Okay? So let me start. I met him again. 20 long years passed away. I have been waiting for this day. Lazily I overcame those languid moments, bruises and scratches reminded me of his long absence. That scar time and again haunt me in thousands of my dreams. Never knew that meeting him would be so startling. My eyes stopped at one. I had no desire except to stare at him. I only counted every beat of the immeasurable second of those passing hours. Never I watched the show. I wish I could hold the hands of my watch. Too many words revolved. They even rebelled. Even they refused to believe me. They refused to believe in my silly choices. A figment of my fancy spiraled off from nowhere. Some stuff like if, but, sunlight, and many more hammered on. 2 hours suddenly passed away, but my eyes were still intact at the same point. My little girl jogged my ponytail. It's time to say goodbye to guests. With the screams of congratulations in the air, I realized my present state. Waves of memories stored inside began to cascade like a never-ending brook. While traversing the years in the time machine, I recollected my acceptance, then a bold rejection, and then the shattering of hopes. Unlike other spectators on that stage, I unraveled the gesture in me, in the circus of life. 2 hours passed, 2 decades of my life passed away. I found myself still clinging to the fascinating bygone. Life must go on. With this, I hastily gathered the scrambled parts for returning to the lonely chamber. My heart was heavily laden with those thrilling years of past life. Embracing the humdrum of this rotten life was the last choice that years ago I made in my conscious state. It's over.
That's a beautiful rendition, very emotional, sentimental. The flow of words was beautiful. Now we move on to the next poetess. And Navya ji, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Would you like to? Are you? Suppose you're traveling right now. So now, would you like to?
Yeah, I am traveling right now. Can you take me in the last, if possible?
Yes.
I'm on the way home actually. That's the thing.
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I request Dr. Subui Jafar ji to render her poem for the rendition. But before that, I would like to make a brief introduction. Dr. Subui Jafar was born and brought up in Varanasi. She is a young and dynamic trilingual poet and writer. She is an oncologist by profession and currently working at Apex Hospital, Varanasi. She has completed her schooling from Central Hindu School, BHU, Varanasi, MBBS from Government Medical College, Haldwani, and post graduation from Delhi. So now I would like to welcome Dr. Subuhi ji, and we are looking
Uh,
forward to your editing. Yeah.
Thanks, Rupali ji, for such a nice introduction. So, without wasting any more time, I would like to recite my poem that is based on the tendency of other people's behavior. Like they have a tendency to meddle in others' affairs, like when are you getting married? Why did you get a divorce? Oh my God, you're not planning for kids, and many more questions like that. So, my question, the title of my poem is Why. I feel my life is like a courtroom. Someone is always there judging my actions. Me in defense and other one in prosecution, always asking me for the clarification. My question is why? Why do people have to meddle in others' affairs? Why don't they just mind their own business? Why do they feel that I should always confess? Why there is time when I don't see light, darkness follows me though the sky is bright? Why are the voices in my head so loud? They are draining my energy out. Why do people say being alone is dangerous, whereas I feel mental peace is the most precious? I don't know why people hesitate to admit that being alone is better than staying with a pervert. I know the past does influence the future, but our future is something that we can nurture. I'm sure a day will come with a sparkle of light that will guide my path and change my surroundings. That's all. Thank you.
That's excellent, and very something related to society you have expressed, what you have observed, and beautifully penned.
Thank you.
And now I would like to welcome our next participant, and she's participating in Poesy Tales open mic for the first time. And we are very, all of us are, I think, excited to listen to you, Diya Singh ji. Before that, a brief introduction of you. Diya Singh is a 20 years old undergraduate student pursuing BSc Psychology from Punjab University from Chandigarh. She is a young poet who has composed and written several poems and is currently working on her first anthology of poetry. She has won trophies in national level poetry and essay writing competitions. She keeps on participating in various online and offline poetry meets. She believes in the simplicity of expression in poetry. So, welcome, Diyaji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the sweet introduction. I would express my gratitude for Anupama ma'am, Poesy Tales, and Rupali ma'am for such a beautiful introduction and this wonderful opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Dia, and my poem is titled I See a Light Ahead. It's a poem which I have written for myself whenever I am in doubt and I don't have the courage to face the uncertainties in life, like when I'm afraid to step ahead or go for something new which I have never done before. Yes, I don't know what I will be like. I see her ahead, waiting at the finish line. My better half, wishing me the best of all for the beginning of anything new that I am about to have. And here I am, at the starting line, hesitant with not just the blues to take the first leap for the race of my future. I had awaited since long ago. I know everything, what to do and how to do it. But when the courage comes, I am a little in doubt. I long for some courage, the endless zeal, so that I could not only be reckless, but also the first one to take the initiative for my own sake. I see her ahead, the fragment of my angel, smiling ahead, waiting patiently for me to pick myself at my own pace. Even though she knows my indecisiveness, still she stands there silently, waiting for me, looking as if a white sparkle of light in an empty night. Thank you.
That was fabulous. And the way you have expressed and recited is also very nice. The flow of words is
Thank you,
excellent,
ma'am.
and it was emotionally charged as well. Anyone else would like to give a feedback to her? Sudipta ji? Yeah.
Um,
Subhiji, yeah. Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
it was a very sweet poem, and you have explained your thoughts very beautifully. The flow, the words you have chosen, the frame, everything was perfect. A lovely
Thank you,
poem.
ma'am. Thank
Dia, you have put the
Navya,
fantabulous work.
Yeah, hello.
yeah, Navya ji, yeah. Now, will you be able to recite?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute.
Before that, you get be ready with the poem. I'll introduce you briefly.
Uh, my first poem is called Writing is Like Love. Writing is like love, and it complicates the both of us, and sometimes
Can you all hear Sudipta ji, Subhui ji? No. Her
No,
screen is frozen.
I
Yeah.
can't hear. I think there is
Hello,
some
am I
network issue.
audible? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Now
using
you're
my
audible.
mobile data. I'm using my mobile data and I'm like also traveling, so that's the reason. Yeah, I'll continue the poem.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can start from the beginning.
okay.
Again, it's the same. Hello, Navya ji. Am I audible to you? We can't hear you. The screen is frozen.
Am
Yeah,
I audible?
now you're audible. Yeah, you.
Okay.
Yeah, please start.
Yeah. Should I start again or?
Yes, please start again.
Okay. Writing is like love and it complicates the both of us, and sometimes it's it has worked wonders for me. Whenever I'm low, I feel like writing to my heart's content. Whenever I feel angry, writing has helped me change my mood. Writing is sometimes like a the writer's mind is like a bit tricky, and God knows why a writer has so many thoughts running in a completely passionate that I continue to pursue, and it has given me so many takeaways. And writing alike. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was partially audible. Some words were missed.
As I said,
Yeah.
my mobile data is not working much, so that's the
So
thing.
what Anupama ji, what she has suggested is that you keep your video off and you can recite. I think that will be better. I think then
Probably my next piece I'll recite without the video because I would reach
okay,
home almost
okay, fine. Yeah,
in the.
fine.
Sorry about the network issues. It was because I was traveling,
Yeah, no
so there
problem.
were a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll be reciting a poem which I had written a few years ago.
But any feedbacks for my piece?
Yeah, Navya, I think what you do is you reach home and we would like to hear this piece as well. So no problem. For
Again.
if round two,
Okay,
Navya, can
probably.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So what you do is you reach home and you can recite the two pieces. No problem.
Okay, sure.
Then we'll be able to hear you better.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. So now, friends, I'll be reciting a poem which I had written few years ago. It's about human mind. Human mind is like an indefinite space. It is vast, with many shadows cast on a sunny, ideating terrain of the brain. What lies beneath the surface, abstract or perspective, real or surreal, is so difficult to fathom, just like the minuscule yet powerful atom. Understanding layers of a collage of impressions and expressions, a kaleidoscope of designs and patterns, a mosaic of bits and bytes, feels like the longest journey of reaching a crystalline state of thoughts, especially when facing a tight predicament. The head and heart go through arguments. The head and heart go through arguments till they augment resources to face the forces, internal and external. The head and heart go through arguments till they augment resources to face the forces, internal and external. Finally, finally, a decision is arrived at, destination is reached, awaiting destiny to set the stage for further plays. Thank you.
It is beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was a
I think
lovely
human mind is
poem,
very complex.
and yeah, writing a poem about human mind is itself a incredible task. Means it's very difficult, and you have composed all these things in such a nice way and such a easy way. That's very beautiful. That's good.
Thank you for your feedback, ma'am. And now many people have joined us as well and have also, as you must have also read their comments. Manjuji has joined, Gayatri Zoshi has joined, Anupama ji is there, Ajay ji is there, Madhuri ji had also joined in. Now we will proceed with the second round. Before we proceed with the second round here, today I would like to say that this day, November 19, has lots of significance in a way. It's also International Men's Day also.
Yeah.
And and on November 19th, many, very popular, you can say, and many patriots, they were also born. Many freedom fighters, politicians. As we all know, Indira Gandhiji's birthday, it is November 19th. And according to many historians, Rani Lakshmi Bai, the Queen of Jhansi, she was also born on this day. And also the very first, you can say, first universe, Miss India universe, Sushmita Sen was also born. So, and coincidentally, today, this open mic is an all women show. It's all women bards are there today. So, even will also wish all the men of the people who are watching, as well as the members of Poesy Tale, the men, a very happy International Men's Day. Now, I would request Dr. Sudipta Mishra ji to present her second poem.
Thank you, Rupali ji. Your poem was also awesome. And my poem is, the title of my poem is Memory of School Days. It has also some realistic approach. So let the poem begin like this. Gone are the good old days. In the womb of time, now sitting silently, I can only explore golden memories of mine. Dear friends, I recall our gatherings under the mango tree. I can still hear the echoes of prayers and comments carried out aloud by your dearest scout teacher. While taking a trip down to the memory lane, I remember each memorable moments with my friends. The long talks at the corridors, waiting for the tiffin break, the school bag with a heavy load of my daughter reminds me of the punishment given by the math teachers. We all survived in the scorching heat of summer, and even we danced outside the classes in the rain of July. I can still recall the shining bars in the nearby pond of the school backyard. With glittering eyes, I used to stare at students were restricted to go there. Everything is now stored in a treasured memory box. Now I can only cherish those moments of glorious years with a nostalgic look at those unforgettable memories. All that I can do is to paint those old good memories in the pages of a never ending story. It's over.
Excellent. And you brought back the nostalgia, the childhood memories, and very heart touching. And you always, I feel you write from the heart. It's straight दिल से कैसे जैसे कहते हैं हिंदी में
Thank
आप दिल से लिखते हैं, and that is reflected in your writings. And all of us can somewhere while reading, the reader can relate to it because it's somewhere, as you say, some realism is also there in it. Yeah, reality is there. Now I
Thank you
would,
for reading all my poems. Always.
my pleasure, ma'am. And
Same.
after this beautiful, heart touching poem by Dr. Sudipta ji, I would request Dr. Subhuhi ji to recite her poem.
Thanks, Rupali ji, for inviting me again to recite my poem. As you said, that though it's an International Men's Day, but this is the Day of Women. So my next poem is based on that theme only, that every girl should feel that she is wearing an invisible crown. So what this invisible crown is all about? So the title of my poem is Invisible Crown. Um, Life is not spent by fluke or deciding fate by throwing a dice. Rather, it is spent by wearing an invisible crown and a confident smile. Smile that is contagious enough to spread positivity and enthusiasm, and the crown emitting that queen's aura and pride. But what does this crown is made of? Is it only a thing to show off? The answer is a big no, clear and loud. You just wear your virtues as the invisible crown. You may come across hurdles and riddles. You may have to go through chaos, noise, and prickles. But remember, you are the gift of heaven. Live your life with love and compassion. Sometimes it's okay to be with you alone, spending those moments to refine yourself and your goals. Take firm decisions and stick to that. Stand tall and rooted, igniting that spark and glam. That's all. Thank you.
It was a motivating poem. I think it will inspire many readers, especially women and girls. And the words were also, that was fast paced and full of motivation.
Thank you.
And the term invisible crown also was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I would request Diya Singh ji to recite her second poem.
Uh, my second poem is titled Disappearing Cultures, and it's about how the trends in today's life they are changing from one day to the another. I am the language forgotten, the dialect unheard of, availing my last breath on my deathbed. I am omnipresent, residing among each one of you, emerging from the hidden land, the buried native tropical realm, where people define diversity as their whole identity to differentiate themselves from the rest. Many festivities are all diminished to mere holidays, where the whole lineage of celebration is pinned on the golden ages. I have survived this far, thanks to the courtesy of countryside and suburbs, where life is slow as before. I met my friends, my various degrees of self, scattered across the globe. A new flow has begun, where the old is gold is replaced by diamonds and stones, my glamour and legacy, lost in those mines that will never be unearthed. My pious treasure, devoured by the flames of envy, war, and invasion. I acquired my new rival, modernity, claimed to be minimalist, elegant, and classy. Fresh as the aroma of white tulips, I heard the voice of the dead, the lamenting of the undead. questioning the emotional and supportive purpose of people's lives from the moment they conclude the possibility of a lifelong mating. I am weary and worn out from witnessing the repeated rebounds of my lifetime, of my birth, arise, crime, and downfall. I don't wish myself a long immortal life, but a peaceful death where my remembrance is awaited by all. Thank you.
Very nice. It's a very powerful message, and now you have thought about a different powerful topic as well, and it's very relevant and pertinent in our country with so many languages, and that's why somewhere uh, the more actually we should be proud of it, and it's our part of our rich culture that we have an opportunity to be multilinguistic, but for various reasons which now which is outside the scope of this open mic, but for various reasons somewhere one or two languages are only taking just there in the driver's seat, and some regional languages and dialects unfortunately they are just becoming the people speaking them, the native speakers, they they're just deserting them. So let's hope that more and more writers, poets also write in the apart from English or Hindi or in their mother tongue or any other language in which they can express themselves, and so that we can keep those languages alive. And Diaji, for your age, the maturity which you have shown in this poem and the thoughts really absolutely magnificent.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Your
And
words
your
mean a lot.
recitation was also very nice. Anyone
Thank you,
else
ma'am.
would also, yeah, like to express,
Hello
give their
there.
feedback?
Hello there. Actually, this poem is
Hello,
very
ma'am.
mature. Hello. It is written in a very mature level. Like a cycle poem revolved, and I was extremely immersed in that poem. Thank you for
Thank you,
presenting
ma'am.
such a beautiful poem at such a tender age. Thank you.
I think Navyaji has, I think she's not there, I think. Yeah.
I can see her.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I will recite the second poem. This was
Please.
also written a few years ago, and it's titled "Red Rose Amidst Black Roses." Surrounded by dark shades of aroma, the red rose felt like a showstopper at times insecure and alone, with no one of her tribe there with her. Her rouge petaled blooms, scared and shy of noir energy, did not know that soon she would be accepted and loved by bell flower power. Black roses, beautiful, busy, and happy in their world, were surprised to find a crimson clad maiden in their midst. Initial apprehensions, unkind remarks, ragging taunts, nagging replies were neutralized when one early morning the Scarlet Dame cried tears of dewdrops. Maternal instincts of black roses won, and these black roses were kind to the red rose ever after. Thank you.
Excellent, Rupaliji. Excellent.
Thank
I
you.
think the
Thank
red
you.
rose is a symbolic. This poem is
Yes.
completely a symbolic poem, and like a fable, it ended.
Yeah.
Acceptance. At first was
Yes.
rejection and then acceptance. Life of
Yes.
a lady, I think. I think.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Excellent rendition.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a beautiful poem. What happens when a new member joins a family or a new kid enters a new school? Then how people behave with him or her? Like first they reject him कि नहीं ये तो हमारे बैच का नहीं है and ये दूसरे स्कूल का है and then they are like कि okay okay we are friends now. ये ऐसा
Yes.
वाला फील आ रहा था इसमें.
जी बराबर. And we are glad. It's really a pleasure to listen to each of the renditions, each of the poems, and all of you covered really different topics. They were sensitive, and many of them like they were relevant to our current affairs, societal affairs, and they will definitely the readers and the listeners now, because since it's an open mic, it's the listeners, the audience must have really pondered about many questions, and your poems must have stirred those questions in their minds definitely. And on behalf of Anupama Kadwadji and the entire admin team, Kunda Mamji, Ajay Sirji, and me, Rupali, I really extend my thanks to all of you for allotting time to this open mic. And I think, yeah, now Navya ji has just joined in. So I will just ask her once whether it's possible for her. Hello? Yeah, Navya ji?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still outside. Can you just wait
Okay.
for like 10 more minutes? I'll be there at home.
Actually,
I
our
am
show is
like
getting.
still traveling.
Will you try to recite it? Because now at present, actually, when you're speaking, we are able to hear. But then somehow, are your poems in the device itself, or
It
you
is
how
there
you're
in the
reading?
device. That's the problem.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like right now, I am like 10 minutes away from my house or something. So like, in case I reach home, I can join back. Is that okay?
Actually, now all of us have completed our renditions, and if you can try to recite one poem, let's see whether now the network connectivities will be fine. Let's hope for that.
It's
Can
not
you
about the
recite it?
network connectivity. It's about
Mhm.
the this one actually. Mobile data. I'm using mobile data, so I think because of
Mhm.
that. Okay.
So, as
Uh,
Anupama ji suggested, if possible for you to stop the camera setting and on audio you can recite. We'll love to hear that.
yeah. Sure. I'll do that now. You can hear me, right?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Just a minute. On life sometimes. The writer's mind is a bit tricky, and God knows why a writer. This was my first piece. Am I
Sorry, we
audible?
couldn't.
Hello.
No, only first few one or two lines we could hear.
Uh, that's because again my net issues. So that's the reason I said like I'll go back home and then recite it.
Rupali ma'am, can I give a suggestion?
Yeah.
If possible, we can recite one more poem, each one of us, and then she will get 10 minutes to reach home. I think it's 40 minutes only, so we have a program of 1 hour. So she will get her
Okay.
time to reach home,
Yeah.
है ना? And we can
Fine.
carry on with the program also.
Yes, yes, surely. If you are ready,
Sorry
you
about
three
that.
of all,
I'm really sorry about
you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can recite another poem, and
Yes, please.
we should, uh,
Is it okay
but
for
just
the?
inform her because she's speaking something. I
Okay.
think Navya ji is speaking something.
No, what I said is I'm so sorry that like I have network issues. So like in case I go back home early, I'll surely join back and like I'll recite for
Yeah.
without any network.
So when we can wait for you, as Dr. Subui suggested, all of us like we are ready in a way. Diya ji and Sudipta ji, are you also fine with it? Will you be able? Are you ready to wait for the next 10 minutes or so? Or you have
Yes,
any?
ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm also
And
ready.
Sudipta ma'am?
I'm also ready, but Nobya ji will be available after 10 minutes. Let's ask her.
Yeah. Navya, can are you available after 10
Hopefully,
minutes?
hopefully I'll be available.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll give it a try. Will they are
Yeah.
ready with their next poems, they will recite and they'll will wait for you for 10 next 10 minutes we can wait. Okay, so who
Yeah.
will present first? Dr. Subuiji, are ready?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Um, okay. Uh, the my next poem is the title of my next poem is Lost and Found. Like sometimes we are entangled with our thoughts or some comments that have been passed by others about life, about our looks and everything. So my poem is based on that thing only. So the verses of the poem are: she had to go through the crest and trough of lost and found, facing those rejections, making her strong. Discrimination in skin color, height, and hair. India is the land of diversity, but the most beautiful is fair. Parameters are fixed, no amendment is permissible, mocking her as the ugly one, labeling her inferior. Her voice, her opinion lost its identity with time, and she adjusted herself as a menial. Eventually, she lost her smile to understand the truth. She traveled the extra mile. Through her journey, she got that insight: inner beauty and sanctity are more important than being physically fine. She searched for the meaning and purpose of life, wandering in a sea of uncertainties, trying to strive, struggling to find a helping hand to hold on tight, transcending to the conclusion nothing is indelible and fixed. She rediscovered the love that was always within her. She understood the essence that nothing is forever. She reclaimed her innocence and her voice, finding a new perspective, intention, and design. Thank you.
That was excellent. And very often women tend to be self-sacrificing. They don't think about their own needs, and somewhere self-love, self-discovery, and these topics you have covered beautifully in these poems. Again, inspiring one, an inspiring poem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Who will come with the next poem? Who is ready with the next one?
Is
Diaji, do you
Diya
have
ji ready?
any? Yeah.
Diya, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay.
My poem is titled The Cradle of Grapes. It's a poem which is about the irony of the world, that how the importance of people, it changes with time and with their life. The poem's irony is all. I am jealous of them. The dead ones are great, where people miss them, mourn them, and remember them. whereas we are the broken, flawed ones, separated and forgotten for the sake of good old times. We become the past of the present, whereas they, the present from the past, where people live with them, refusing to let the memory slip away. People visit them, talk to them about the nicest things they have done, while their burdens and disappointments are all reduced to ashes the moment they burn, while we are remembered for the cruelest deed ever done, the crudest opinion from all. They are wrapped around all by beautiful memories, wishes, and blessings, while we are suffocated till the verge of death with the pressure of expectation, filiality, and the big shot we all want in our life. They are lucky to be gone, but we still among people, watching out for their fortune and bloom, while we are the pathetic, unlucky ones, being watched out amongst our own, to not cross paths anymore because of the sour spoiler we prove. The only moment the world stops on our arrival is our birthdays and the arrival of our deathbed. Thank you.
That's again a beautiful poem, very thoughtful, very philosophical, and
Thank you,
your
ma'am.
observations about life are absolutely very spot on, you can say, and you have expressed them beautifully through the medium of poem. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So Dipta ma'am, are you ready with the poem?
Yes, I'm ready. So the title of the poem is The Laws of Love. Unaware of the rules of love, I fell in love, but failed to know the grammar of love. Hence I lost my life. In my pure world, loving you was like living in a glorious dawn, like dreaming on a bright night, like inhaling the essence of blooms, like splashing in a pool of love. I never knew the game of treason. In my lawless sphere, I drifted away from this mortal realm, like living in those baubles of my fragile hope. Like the sun and the moon have their own rules, laws are framed in the cosmic book of love. In the galaxy, you can trace no flaws. But in this physical world, laws are framed by the makers, and I failed to submit to the crumbling rules. And now, in a state of ruins, I know the end. I only blame the love god Cupid, who, with folded eyes, struck me with the arrows of unquenchable desires. It's over.
Fabulous as usual, and it was really the imagery was also so beautiful, and the universal power of love and space. We really, I think we reached a different world as well apart from the earth. Yeah, very
Thank you.
nice.
Rupaliji, you can start your poem.
Yeah. Now November month has begun now. Actually, half the more than half the month is done, but this one is dedicated in part to November. November chills. The title of the poem. Cold crystals of airy pride circulate November chills. Eyes search for miracles in a monotony of daily life. November nurtures nature in rustling moments of work. Leaves of past jostling for space, wind soothing their wounds of neglect. An early evening of autumn explores a mystical world. This halo of shadows glistens and glows. Their beads of bittersweet noir, au revoir, voir, c'est la vie. Thank you.
Profound.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is just speak with the poems of Wordsworth. The nature and the depiction of landscape, everything.
Right. That's an honor for me. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes. Thank you for the poem.
Now wait, I think I can't see Navya
I
ji.
can see also Nabyaji.
No?
Is she here? I think she has not reached. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock now.
It's fine. How is the weather in your cities, in your places?
Anupama ji is like is writing,
Yeah,
so won't be
she
able
won't
to
be
join.
to join.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes,
fine. She must have messaged to her. Yeah. So,
exactly.
and thank you. So, I will be ending this show. And before that, again, I
Yes.
would like to thank you, ladies, for your patience as well. And again, for for the beautiful suggestion by Dr. Subuhi ji to recite another poem. We poets are always
Yeah, I thought
ready
कि
to.
her poem was मतलब the little bit we heard was very awesome, and the theme was
Ah,
also good. So I wanted to listen to her. So I thought
yes, yes.
कि how can we spend another 10 minutes? So
10 minutes.
each one of us should
The
recite
suggestion.
another poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you two ladies, Sudipta ma'am and Diyaji, you also obliged and you were
But
ready with
at
your
that
poems.
time, I knew that it can be possible for her to reach.
Right. Because of
Yeah.
the traffic and such
Yes,
issues. Yeah.
I knew it
True.
clearly.
And but she did try twice and few as
She tried
Subhuji
her best.
said. And
She
we
tried
also
her best.
tried.
Yes,
Yeah. Maybe next time she will be there
yes,
with us and we will listen to her that time.
yes.
And
Yeah.
it was really very nice of you all really to you waited
Thank you.
further for her. Again, I would like to thank you all for that as well. And
Thank
overall,
Thank
you.
you so much.
it was a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you, Rupal ma'am. Thank you.